tackling, beat the guy in the open field.
Mm-hmm.
As a ball carrier, how much fun is that?
It's very fun. It's like it's advantages and disadvantages for the offense and defense because the defense has to try to stay lateral for the whole time, and for us, we don't have that much space to maneuver, but that's kind of how it is in the game too. So it's just really, right now we don't have pads on, so it's kind of just they can tag us off and push us. But once we get the pads on, it's kind of like, okay, all you got to do is make a miss a little bit, get a stiff arm off, But for me, I'm always going against Quincy. I go against Cisco and Jamie and Sherwood. So the coaches want the best on the best, so that's how it's going to be every day.
Does it get you excited for when the pads go on, when you guys really get to start getting
yeah, you're always excited for when the pads come on. You run the ball a little more, things are a little more hectic. You got to lock in a little more mentally, so it's going to be good to see the challenges for the offense and the defense.
It seems like that's different than what maybe you've done the last few years here. Are there other differences in this camp than what you've experienced in previous years?
Practicing in the morning we like that a lot more than practicing at 11, 12, and it's 90 degrees already, so that's a lot nicer. But I just like the way practice, just the whole operation throughout the day is run. Coach Glenn has done a great job of not only being a player's coach, but making sure that we get the right amount of work in too. So it's been cool to see how he goes about his business and the standard he set for everybody. So for me, it just makes me want to come in every day. And like I said, do my 111th every time I'm out on the field.
It seems like tackling is probably something that's in a lot of places being phased out of training camp. Like I know you guys didn't do too much of it for the first couple of years. Mm-hmm. The fact that you're going to be tackling in camp this year, how much more prepared will that make you for the regular season here?
It's not like we're going to be tackling every day, but there's definitely going to be like a period, maybe 2 periods, every 2 practices where we're tackling and stuff. And I think it's just good to just work that muscle memory of, okay, I got to be a little more physical. I got to actually get someone to the ground rather than just fitting them up, tagging them off. So I feel like it's going to be good for not only the offense, the running backs, the O-line, but also for the defense too.
Breece, how is Coach Glenn a player's coach?
I just like the way he communicates, bro. It's not passive. It's straight. It's very to the point. It tells you what he needs from you, how he wants things done, and he doesn't sugarcoat anything because he's played before. He knows, and he knows what we're going through, what we've been through. So it's cool to see how, like I said, how he goes about his business, how he treats everybody, how he acknowledges everything and everyone. And like I said, he's very straight to the point. So he's not, I just like how he wants to just work, let us go home, and that's the coolest thing.
What is he looking for in his football player?
I think I won't say it's different from every position, but he wants a football player that's smart, that's going to give 110 every play, and excuse my language, but this like word for word, like it's crazy. And someone that he can rely on. So I think those are the 3 biggest things.
He was talking yesterday, the day before, about how he's been impressed with the run blocking up front. Have you seen those guys taking a leap forward in that area?
Yeah, I think from a whole offensive standpoint, the guys we're all really bought into this run scheme. I think it fits our backs more. I think it makes a lot more sense to the guys up front and the reasoning why we're doing everything and what we're doing it for, how we're going to set other plays up, with our run game. So I think, to see how much we've all bought into it and trusting our coaches now has been good.
We've seen a couple of guys from your draft class just get extended recently.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, with Sauce and Garrett.
Yeah.
What is your hope? Do you think that could happen to you before the season starts?
No, I'm not really expecting it before the season. We got a new head coach, new GM. And obviously, I wasn't drafted by them. I'm not their guy. So for me, like I said, I got to prove it every day. I think for me, I got a chip on my shoulder. I feel like right now, okay, it's my last chance. For me, it's always been he's got potential. He's got potential, but I want to be the product. So now, it's all just about putting my head down and working. So I feel like I don't really want to discuss all the other stuff. For me, I just try to worry about ball right now.
You always believe you can prove yourself, but is there more of an opportunity in this opportunity to talk about the different running scheme and obviously what we're going to do in Detroit?
Yeah, I honestly do. In the past, there's been a lot of instability and stuff around the whole operation. And I feel like this year, like I said, everybody's bought into this coaching staff. Everybody's bought into our GM. Everybody's bought into our owner still. So it's like, it just feels a lot better around here coming in every day.
Yeah, so it's definitely a lot different. Last year I was really fortunate to have a lot of veteran guys, especially a lot of veteran tackles like Tyron and Morgan in the room with me. But this year, like it's a whole new year. So for me, it's all about just getting more experience, getting more reps, and yeah.
It looked like you're a little bit bigger this year. Like you put on some weight. Just
Yeah.
kinda, what were you doing in the offseason?
Yeah, no, for me it was more so about just like gaining a lot more like muscle mass, and I just want to be able to play at like a slightly heavier weight than I was last year. I felt like last year I was still on like the lighter side of being a tackle, but now I feel like a lot more better, feel a lot more stronger, a lot more powerful. So that was my aim during the offseason.
You said there was, a lot of veteran tackles last year. There's a lot of faith on 2 young tackles this year. What does that say about you two guys? That there's a lot of faith on a couple of young guys?
Yeah, it just shows the trust that this building has in both me and Armand. I mean, I can talk about Armand all day. He's an extremely hard worker, and he has a very exciting future. So I'm really excited for him.
How much is it going to help you every day going against guys like Will?
Oh man, it's gonna show a lot during the season. I mean, Will is one of those guys that honestly just moves differently than most players on the field. The way that he's able to just gain movement with no wasted movement or steps, it's truly different. And me and Armand are going to get a lot better by going against him every day.
How much are the guys up front enjoying this new running scheme you guys are running? And I know Breece was just talking about how everybody's really buying into it.
Oh, no, absolutely. And I think having a quarterback as mobile as Justin definitely helps a lot too, and we definitely feel it this year.
Looking back on it, how much do you think it helped you last year, kind of getting thrown into the fire at right tackle and then at guard for a little bit even? How much do you think now that benefits you headed into this year?
Yeah, I think for me it's just a confidence booster, knowing that in any given situation, how crazy it is, I can go in and still play my game. And at the end of the day, it just has to do with how strong our room is. I still remember when my O-line coach told us, I think second quarter of the Texans game, that I was going in at right guard, and as soon as everyone heard, like they all just surrounded me and just started giving me, a bunch of tips and advice, and it's just a testament of like how close we are in our room. So.
Where have you grown, you think, the most from last year to this year?
I think growth-wise, definitely like mentality. Coming into this season, a lot more confident than I was last year. And I think that's just something that everyone works with, just, the concept of self-doubt. And I did a lot of work on my mental over the offseason, and, coming into this camp, feel a lot better, a lot more confident, knowing my abilities and that I can go out there and dominate every play.
I don't know how often we're going to get to talk to you, but you do get those joint practices against the Giants in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And you have duels.
Yeah.
What are you looking forward to with that? Seeing him, and you probably didn't face him as an edge rusher.
Yeah, no, I would face him, like sparsely during my senior year, because he was still an off-the-ball linebacker, but during one-on-ones he would come down occasionally and get reps against the tackles. But, I mean, first off, I'm just looking forward to seeing him and just, congratulating him. I haven't seen him since I went to the Ohio State game last year, so definitely would just want to see him, congratulate him on his success, and definitely looking forward to going against him because, a player like that, he's very special. So for me to go against him in practice, we're definitely going to get each other better.
What are the challenges that he presents?
First and foremost, the speed. It's a different type of speed coming off the edge. Someone that is almost as fast as a DB coming off the edge, and as a tackle, that's probably like the number one concern you have, before the play even starts. So definitely his speed. He has really good change of direction. He knows how to manipulate linemen to get him to keep on kicking outside so he can go inside. So, yeah, looking forward to it.
When you would see him in those one-on-one drills when he was the off-ball, did you ever think to yourself, what the hell is he doing back there?
Absolutely. I mean, like, as an off-ball linebacker, he I don't know if he had the most sacks on our team, but if he didn't have the most, it was definitely the second most. So we knew that if we put him closer to the ball, it was going to be even better.
How would you assess your first few days of training camp?
Oh, it's been really fun, really competitive, and just excited to be back playing football.
How has it been just trying to get to know Olu and just knowing that you have somebody that was in your exact position a year ago?
Oh, yeah, it's really just good. I sit right next to him in the meeting room, so I ask him for advice and stuff sometimes, and he's been a big help for me.
How much is going up against Will every single day helping you?
Yeah, Will's my biggest out right now, so, going against him was a really tough matchup, but it's also really competitive and been really fun, And after practice, too, I'll go talk to him, just ask him tips about what he sees about my game and my set and stuff, so it's been good work.
What are you learning from going against him? Combination, speed, power, defense?
Yeah, he just, sometimes I'll go against him and it's like, I just be thinking, like, how did he do that? But, yeah, a guy like him, he's just super athletic, so going against him, I know once I get to the game, it's going to make me a lot better.
So there was the bull rush that he hit you with today, Will did. Was that one where, because he seems to go often with like the speed. So was that an example, like kind of setting up speed, he randomly hits you power, and how do you counter that?
I guess I just got to be better.
Between you and Olu, I mean, that's two young tackles being trusted with big roles. What does that say about you two guys, that it's two young guys that are taking on two big roles, right away?
Oh, I mean, yeah, we just got to, embrace our roles and just, continue to keep getting better every day.